stream to them, and then they will stream to multiple live streams, which I think would be good.
Janet, look!
Like, I think, you know, like YouTube's got the high, like, they've got the most outreach. If you can, like, everyone knows how to, has access to YouTube. So I think if you just stick with them, the only thing, TikTok's pretty good as well, live. So, I'll get the sound on as well. We can either talk with the mics, or you can just talk into, like, talk normally. Let's just talk normally.
Yeah. Keep it casual.
Yeah, but with the mic itself.
Yeah.
Just get the mic. That's the mic there.
Oh, I see.
Oops. Good to remember that there's not many people listening at the moment. So you don't really have to. This is like our, I see these as like our practice runs.
Yeah, this
like
is
getting
just
better and better each time.
us having our discussions.
Yeah.
Just what we do.
Yeah, exactly. So you can use the headphones to actually hear what it sounds like. Hello, hello. Oh, there you go. That's it.
The third eye chakra opening. Hermes was called thrice great. This was because of an awoken pineal gland.
Alright. Lovely. So, chat for a little bit, and I might just grab a cigarette or something. We'll put a, if you, that's my mission. Life.
Push. Yes.
That's a sponge. From Hamlin Bay.
Pretty sponge.
Alright. I think we're good. Where's Janet? Can't see Janet. You're gonna have to just come across, I think. Yeah, we'll give you some space on the corner here. That's one thing I want to do is get the cameras set up. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I can see you nicely. Just can't see me.
I can see you when you lean in.
Oh yeah, cool. Alright, push that back a bit. Lovely. Hello. Hello, hello.
Hello.
So I'll just keep these. So, we are here to talk about. Hello, hello. Yeah, so we're here to. I'll grab the other mic actually. I'll also put that one there.
it's just wrapped around that way, so.
Put some music on, background. Alright, so hopefully we're just trying out our new mics, and hello, 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 that's pretty good. You got, I'll just disconnect. So there's the first learning, is to set this up before you turn the podcast on.
Yeah.
But I think that's good sound now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So then once you get the sound right, I don't think you don't have to wear the headphones. You
Sweet.
can just talk normally. And you're watching this as well. So this is our volumes. So we want to make sure that they're not too loud, but they're just nice. Yeah, so that should be good. And then the key is to not do any like bumping on the table. Cool. And I'll push play for some music.
Very nice.
Yeah, so how have you been going at Mindful Earth?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Up and down.
Yeah.
But that's life.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You're finding that, like, because that's, I think, that happens here is, you know, there's the highs, but there's also the lows.
Yeah.
There's a combination.
Yeah. And to me, I feel like I'm just living life, you know, like fully living it. So that's great, you know, to be able to experience the whole spectrum of things, you know.
Yeah.
Having the opportunity to live freely and, yeah, not have any responsibilities that you don't want to have, you know, like, yeah, so you get to just go by what's right every day.
You just choose what you want to do each day.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you want to wake up,
Yeah.
when you want to have a sleep, when you want to go to bed. Like, how amazing is that? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like as a kid, we're told you got to go to bed this time, you got to do this, you can't eat this, you can't do that. So
yeah.
that's part of becoming an adult, I think, is having the ability to be free.
Yeah.
Like that, letting go. Okay,
Yeah.
I can now do what I want.
And listening to yourself.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to. I don't know if it's natural or not to go to bed or wake up at the same time every day. Maybe it sort of fluctuates, and it's okay. Like, it doesn't matter if you go to bed a bit later on, you know, one day, go to bed earlier a different day.
Yeah.
I think it's just up to you. Like,
Yeah.
how
I think
you're
that's
feeling.
the best way to be. Is just
Yeah.
like if there's really cool things happening at night, it's like, well, I'm gonna stay up.
Yeah.
It's like this is my choice.
Yeah.
And when you start to feel that freedom, it's very you can sort of sigh. It's like, okay, I finally can be myself. And I've felt that way
Yeah.
the last few years, like living here. Like the best thing that's ever happened, because I can wake up, and in the past I'd have to go to work at 8. And I'd have to get up at super early. I'd sometimes go to yoga in the morning, and then I'd like have my kids, look after them, and then go to work, come home. It's just all very structured.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that has been my learning, is actually to am I on? That's been my learning, is to actually are we all in there? Cool. If can you see me when I look at you? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Is that freedom? Is like, for a true happiness, being able to be exactly who we want to be. It should be our priority in life. Yeah. And unfortunately, like, the society's structured us to be a certain way.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily who we are. Yeah, and so offering these, like, it is like a sanctuary or a little oasis where people have the ability to come here for a day or a week or, 3 months and experience that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I haven't been, for the last 2 years, I haven't been really strict on making people turn up at meetings. I've just allowed people to explore themselves.
Yeah.
And that, it what it has meant is we haven't got as much done around here as I would like, but it's allowed people to really, what it has done is allowed people to heal and find themselves
That's
again,
it.
which is way more important, really, ultimately. And I think you get to a certain point where people that find themselves, whether it takes a week or a year, and they find what they want to do, their passions, and then they get excited and inspired.
That's it.
Yeah. And maybe what, like, the idea here is to create all these workshops and activities, sort of like the circus was on the weekend. You know, they had their 2 weeks of circus, like all the different, I think they had
training.
60 workshops, 60 types of workshops. So people were able to go and jump into each one of those that interests them. And then they can, maybe you want to learn to be a juggler. Right, see, and that's when you find find it. And it's like, okay, now I just want to put all my time into that. So it's like offering a space where people create, like, or discover. They're discovering.
Discover these things. And in their own time, and feeling safe to do so as well.
100%. Yeah. And like, you, I don't know about you, but like, since you've been here, what, 2 weeks?
2-3 weeks.
Yeah. It's like you would have met so many different people, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so
it's
many
just
people.
expanded your horizons.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So many like-minded people. So many talented people. It's amazing. I think people are really drawn to this place.
For that reason, though, right? It's that, to connect with each other. To connect with, and I think we're on the fringe of society at the moment. Like, this is the fringe of like what's normal.
It is quite bizarre. It doesn't feel like that, but it is, because, you know, mainstream society is structured in a very different way. But being here, it feels so normal. It feels right. How it should be.
Yeah, I've realised that as well. I didn't know that before we started. Just had this drawing towards building family, because I don't have a very small family, right? And my mum and sister passed away, and so it's just me and my kids, pretty much, and my ex of my children. So it's like such a small family that I was like, my drawing was, we've got to create these families again. From people from all, just like-minded people. Like, it's essential, because we're so isolated, and the more I think about it and the more I explore it, the more I realize that our society has totally isolated us. And it's almost like that's the system, is to put us in, give us something that we think is what's going to make us happy, which is opulence, or our own house, our own Maserati, or, you know, Beamer, whatever. Some material objects. That's what we're driven towards. But it's a bit of a scam, really. It's a sham.
It is.
Sham.
Sort of pointing you in the wrong direction.
Right. Yeah. It's a false path. I mean, there's no doubt that money makes it easier to live. But I remember Boh Sho saying that it's like, what did he say? He said that I've forgotten. That's the problem with live podcasting. It's like when you forget a thought. So
but that happens all the time.
Totally. It's just gone into the nether, the ether, but it'll come back. So what are we talking about? The beauty of living in community. Sometimes I wonder whether I should just write, as I'm talking, write it down, the topic. So then you're on that topic and keep coming back to it.
Have a scribe.
Yeah, so like the system that a scribe would be good, yeah. And on Joe Rogan they have he has Jamie, young Jamie. He used to have Brian Redband, and he was like doing the background stuff. And I guess any questions those guys would investigate and find out, get online and find
whole
topic and make
team.
sure it's more like a fact checker as well. It's like you make a statement. Is it true? Well, someone can check, and then you're spreading more truth. Because there's a lot of things that we're told that may not necessarily be true. We just take them as gospel, but there may be other people that know more about it than we do. But I want to remember that point because it was regarding living in community and the system that we currently come from. It's like what I've realized is that we're social beings. Like humans are. Like if someone was to explain us as a species, just like you have, say, the rhinoceroses, or the hippopotamuses. It's like, how would you explain us? And to me, the first sentence would be, we're social beings. We're social animals. We need to be around others. Like that's what we always seek. And it's funny, that's why we go to a pub. You might not talk to anyone, or you talk to one or two people, but because it's a room full of people, we just like to be around people. And we've lost that able to be able to connect with people. We're afraid to speak to strangers. And, to me, that's also that's part of the system.
Totally.
Is to keep us isolated. We've forgotten how to talk and how to get a judgment.
It is strange, isn't it? Just how we struggle to meet new people all the time. And we live in our houses that are separate from our neighbours. Sometimes we don't know our neighbours. And walking around the street or at the park, sometimes you don't even acknowledge other people who are around.
Yeah, I see that a lot. It's like people won't look in your won't even acknowledge you. Like coming from the community now, like whenever I'm out, everyone I walk past I smile at and acknowledge, but a lot of people will just won't even look at you.
I wonder
it's
if
like you're not even there.
It must have some strange effect on the psyche to sort of be around people and not really acknowledge each other. It would be so disconnected.
I agree. And I think people have got, especially if you've got some like mental health, you're not as confident, and you're not have never learned how to communicate with others. But you're gonna shut yourself off. It's easier to isolate yourself than just take that step of communing with people. Because it's a big step.
It is.
And if you're not comfortable, sometimes conversation doesn't go as well because you're conscious of what you're saying. You're not free flowing. And that takes practice. We have to learn how to commune with others. And I feel like you see like the Maori, the islanders, they're very tribal, family based. And all those, they're just very good at talking to people. Like, that's what they've learned. It's just having people around all the time. Where if you grow up in front of a TV dinners at night, you go to work, or you just go to school and then you come home, play on your computer, never talking to anybody. You don't learn. And then it's uncomfortable.
It is,
and so you avoid it.
A lot of that sort of interaction is very formal. Like it's sort of like you need to learn how to behave in a acceptable way. You can't just express yourself, you can't just connect with people like they're friends. It's a weird sort of conditioning.
Really.
And you're sort of afraid to step out of line.
Right, yeah, that's right. There's so many rules on what we can and can't do. I sense that. And that's the beautiful thing about being here, is that social system is not it's not in our minds. So then people can start to just let go and be themselves.
There's sort of a lack of rules. And in a way, people sort of naturally come out, and they can sort of, people know how to interact with each other when there's none of that sort of I don't know how to describe it. The sense of having to be a certain way.
Mm.
When you can just be yourself, when you can be relaxed and free and open, it's just so easy.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, you're not trying to, in your conversation, you're not trying to prove anything. You know that, like, in conversations where everyone, it's just like, oh, I did this,
Upping,
and I did this,
one-upping
and I
each
did
other,
this, and oh yeah, I did this. I went to India. Oh, it's alright, and no one's really listening. Everyone's just wanting to tell.
Yeah, just competing with each other.
Yeah, yeah, and like that's a whole other topic of like how to communicate. There's a real art to it, and we're not really taught that either.
Yeah.
Like the just listening. Like I said that to you the other day. It's like you're really good at listening, but most people aren't very good at listening. They're very good at telling their story, and it becomes like a headbutting.
Yeah.
Two people trying to tell their stories. It's just like
and they're not really getting to each other when they're doing that.
Yeah. Yep. No one's getting to know each other. Jordan Peterson says his quote is like, if you're talking to somebody and they're not listening, stop talking. Just don't bother. And since I heard him say that, and I had been thinking about that already, but yeah, when he said that, I was like, yeah, exactly. If people don't want to hear what you have to say, then just stop, because if you keep talking, it just belittles you.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You don't want to listen, maybe I can listen to your story, but but that's an interesting part of communication that we're all having to relearn how to interact. And as I say, like the Maoris or the people growing up in tribes or big families, that they have those skills. The Italians, they're always having functions, celebrations. They're always together in big groups.
Yeah.
So you got to get to know how to talk to everybody, old and young. But my experience is coming from like my sister and my mum and my stepfather. Like that was it. That was the unit, and we'd branch out occasionally, but it was usually quite isolated in that little family unit.
Yeah. Same with my family.
Yeah. And then you can take it to the next level. Is like I saw a stat, like Bunbury, 50% of houses are single occupancy.
Oh wow.
In Bunbury.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of elderly living on their own in houses. It's crazy. It's crazy. Jojo!
How are you guys?
Very good. We're doing a podcast.
Oh. What are you talking about?
We're talking about community and building tribes and the amazingness of being in a community.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Nice.
Hey, Leah.
Hi. Hi.
Do you guys know each other?
No.
Oh, this is Juju. Leah.
Hi, Leah.
Juju lives in the back corner in the rainbow bus.
Rainbow bus. Yeah.
You've been here for a while then.
Yeah. Fixing the bus.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to give you this
Oh,
first of all.
well, that's a lot of nuts.
Yeah,
$20
it's
notes.
a rent from
You're amazing.
last time I give you
Whoa.
money. It was for Christmas. So yeah, it's 400
Yeah, amazing.
from last Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, last time I give you money, it was for Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. It's
You're
actually
welcome.
just at the right time because we've got to get a new gas bottle.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, there's a few things we need to get. So
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you some stuff.
yeah, are you okay on the
because-
podcast?
Yeah.
We-
Oh, you're on live now.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
You're
Yeah.
shy. Yeah, so you get shy then.
No, I'm okay. Yeah, my family, they're coming in a week.
Yeah.
And so the bus now is not Rego,
Yeah.
so there's not the Rego.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe like put up a tent for them,
Yeah.
like this they can sleep in.
Yeah.
Like you think it's possible to put up like a
One
bell
of the bell
tent
tents.
or
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah. There's
Nice,
heaps
cool.
in them, and there's
Yeah.
like 6 in there.
Oh, nice, beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I will put up one of these for them. Like this, they have a nice space.
Sweet.
And yeah.
Yeah. Her parents were here last summer.
Cool.
Yeah.
And yeah,
From
the
France?
Yeah.
coolest gypsy parents ever. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm so glad.
Cool.
Glad they're coming back.
So how long are they coming for?
I don't know. Like
Might just live here.
yeah, I think they want like, and even Tohu is coming as well soon. And
To who?
Tohu,
Oh, I don't know.
you know the New Zealand guy, the fat New Zealand guy
Oh,
from
Toe.
New Zealand. Yeah,
Toe?
yeah.
Tall toe?
Uh,
Is he tall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tohu.
Toe,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, he's coming to stay?
Uh,
He's coming to visit.
Yeah, I think he's coming to visit. Yeah.
He's a cool guy, yeah.
Yeah.
He's amazing. I
Or
wanna do
people
it.
call him Tim.
Oh, Tim's coming back.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. He's coming back from
Sweet.
New Zealand like in a
Oh.
month or so.
Wow.
And he proposed my dad to be the bass player in his
Whoa.
band.
What? So
I know,
cool.
so yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, lovely.
So yeah,
We had the guys jammed, not last night, the night before,
yeah,
because Sammy's here,
yeah.
and there's a
Oh,
few other
nice.
musicians.
Wow, so cool.
Yeah, so maybe tonight have a
Yeah.
jam. But we're gonna go to the beach for a drumming circle
Oh.
at 6.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, should be nice down there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll probably be there. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet,
Nice. Yeah, cool.
lovely.
Yeah.
But thank you for the
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, and I wanted to ask you
Funds.
something else. I need to find a car for them to rent. So
Yeah.
I was wondering maybe if you know.
I don't even have a car at the
Yeah.
moment. But there's a rental place in Margs,
Okay, yeah.
Margaret River Rentals.
Yeah.
And the guy who runs that's pretty cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I will ask
just
him.
near the Lions, next to the Lions.
Oh, okay, next to the Lions.
To the right,
Oh,
there's a
okay,
little
yeah.
European car place.
Yeah,
Going, you might be able to give you a good deal.
yeah,
I'd
sweet.
say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sweet. Thank
Nice.
you
Nice.
so much. Nice.
Yeah. So we'll continue on our podcast.
Yeah.
We're just talking about how normal living in a community is. Yeah.
Nice.
It has its challenges, but it also is very rewarding for most of us, you know.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, enjoy, guys.
Yeah. See you around.
Thank you, Juju. Amazing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20. Wow. That come in very handy. This is the thing, you know, Muhammad, he would give away, supposedly, he would give away all his possessions at the end of each day.
Mm.
Because he's just like, I know that I will, the universe will provide whatever I need.
I like that.
Yeah, and I've sort of been living that way the last year.
Mm.
It's like,
How so?
because like funds haven't been so freely available as to what I am used to in my life.
Yeah.
Like I was an engineer, like I was on like a good salary.
Mm.
So my whole life I've had like a regular monthly salary, which makes you a bit lazy. It's easy getting paid lots of money
Yeah.
and just always having money.
Yeah.
So that the last couple of years, as funds have been harder to come by, it's like just having enough money to do, and it's like, where do you spend the money? Little projects, like little steps, and as money comes in, you redistribute it,
Yeah.
but you never really hold on to any of it.
Mm.
There's no savings. It's just spend.
Yeah.
And
Use
having
it
the
like
faith,
you should. Yeah.
Yeah, having the faith that more will come in.
Mm.
If it doesn't, then you just manage until it does.
Yeah.
And that idea of like moving the currency is like a current. Like money needs to flow.
Oh, yeah.
If as soon as it sits in a bank account, it's not doing what it's meant to
Yeah.
do.
That's true.
Yeah. So like as the money comes, it goes on, and and that's where it's being used to its most efficiency, I believe.
Yeah, that's a good way to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard like in it, and this goes back to community as well. It's like Boh Sho said this, that if you've got $10 and you spend, give you $10 for a massage, you give me a massage, and then you move that $10, you buy some beads off somebody that someone's created in the community, and then they then spend that money on some tobacco or whatever, or some veggies, and if that happens 10 times, that $10 becomes $100 liquidity, and so the community becomes more what's the word, successful, or more, there's more abundance, because that $10 has become $100 just by spending it, by moving it.
That makes so much sense.
It really does.
Yeah, I never ever thought about it that way.
No, and when you start thinking of money as, and the idea is that there's no scarcity mindset. You know, the reason why we save our money is because we, for a rainy day, something's going to break down or something's going to happen, so we need to have that money just in case. But if you just believe in the universe, that trust that everything will always work out, that money will come when you need it, abundance is always around, then you don't need to have any savings. You don't need to have anything, because even you could say, like, an example is like you go to Thailand with no clothes, because you know there'll be clothes there that you can get. You don't take a suitcase, you just turn up there and work it out. It's this idea of like, the universe is abundant, infinitely abundant, and it's always coming, especially when you're open to it. I think when we start to live in this scarcity mindset, that's when things don't flow as well.
That's what I grew up having. And I'm
Yes.
getting better with my relationship with money now. Sort of not worrying about if I will have money in the future, or where am I going to get money, you know. I don't worry about that anymore.
That's great, because a lot of people have a lot of fear about having no money,
and it controls you when you have that fear.
It's like it's a very strong fear. Like money has been somehow
it's infiltrated our minds.
It really has. Yep. And so that now, like, people aren't content even if they got $1 million in the bank. So, I need more. I need more stability. I need more security. And so people like work their whole life to get this nest egg. Nest egg.
There's so much emphasis and meaning put into money when there really shouldn't be. It should just act as a tool.
It's a tool, that's right. To transfer energy. So you grow oranges, and then you want a car, but I don't want oranges for the car. I've got a car that you want to buy. You know, I don't want 1,000 oranges. You have to then, you transfer that into currency, and then you use that currency to buy the car. So that's the use. It's just when there's two different products, it's the medium of exchange. And when we think of money like that, then it's changes our whole concept. Like, it's essential. It's like Osho said that it's probably the second best invention that humans have ever done. What do you reckon the first is?
I don't know. What is the first?
That's the question here. What do you think?
First best invention.
The most influential. To make us for us to expand. And you probably don't even think about it because it's so obvious.
What classifies as an invention?
Well, language.
Speaking. I was thinking that.
Speaking and writing.
Yes.
Like, just being able to speak. Like, that's a technology that was developed. Right? So, before that, how do you tell someone where the water is? Or how do you tell them that there's a place to go hunt over there? So
the level of language we've developed it's very
insane, right? And there's so many languages.
It's quite incredible. I always find it so fascinating how there's all these different languages used to communicate the same things that we all think and feel. And even some languages are better at that than others.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I've I don't speak any other languages, but I've realized that, like, someone told me that Spanish is a lot more romantic. It's easier to speak romantically with a loved one in Spanish. There's more words, and it's more poetic.
There's a lot of specific words that describe very specific feelings that we
Right.
can't describe.
That's right. Yeah, English is a bit very structured. Like, someone said that English was invented, or it was created, like, only in the 1500s. Like, a ye old English, but someone sat down and developed English and took words from the French, from Spanish, from all over to generate this type of language that, in some ways, it, like, there's only one word for love in English, where there's many forms of love.
Yeah.
So it limits us in our expansion because we don't have words to explain things.
It's really interesting how much we are influenced by our language.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if we all grew up speaking a different language. What would our minds be like?
Right. Yeah. I think, I have no doubt that multilingual people they have more ways to express how they feel. Yeah. It's an interesting one, the English language.
It is interesting.
See, there's Sanskrit, which I'm probably going to learn how to speak it, because I think it's a very spiritual language. So there's terms that are for meditation. There's all these different words that don't even exist in the English language. So, like, how do you share spirituality if you don't have words? Right. Yeah. So, where Sanskrit, I believe, was developed by very spiritual people, they created the language to be able to express spiritual concepts.
Oh, we could do language workshops.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other language speakers around.
It really is. Yeah.
Or we could do like a little book club where we study languages together.
Yeah. Like, there's so many French here, Spanish,
Italian.
Yeah, you could do little language workshops. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. Even like just people can come together and speak together.
Yeah,
in different languages.
In that language.
Practice different languages.
Great idea. Yeah, do a little French workshop.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, that would be really fun.
Language.
Yeah, and that's something that anyone can do.
Yeah.
If it's your root language, then you can share that wisdom. Nice. Because I want to learn Spanish.
Oh yeah.
And I really would love to learn French as well. Spanish and French, I think if you've got those two then you're in good shape for traveling the whole world.
Totally.
Yeah. Cool. Because that is one part of the dream here, is to have an education centre. And language would be a big part of that.
Yeah.
Teaching people other languages.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially like with Sanskrit as well, I think. It'd be fun to have. Yeah.
Yeah. There's something about learning and knowing other languages. Really, and it's a good exercise for the brain as well.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I think it keeps your brain sharp. Yeah, cool. Let's do that.
Language workshops.
So yeah, we want to have like an education
Yes.
clan, a space. So that's where we can start to talk about what we want to do here. Because I see Mindful Earth as it's like a display home demonstration project. So how do we create the perfect as possible a community or a tribe? So how do we make this, and it's all to do with harmony, like harmony of the people in it. Because I think you see in so many communities or systems that there's not harmony between all the people, and so we need to create that harmonious system again, one based on love and connection. because we had to have lived in those tribes once.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're moving away from the right way to live, the natural way of living.
Yeah, and that's, I think we're in a perfect time because we've experimented with this other system, this capitalistic system, that has been all about wealth, and we've created amazing wealth for the world. Like the Western way has done an amazing thing, but there's some key things that are missing, and that goes back to this idea of like isolation, like not connecting with each other, and so the system has to have both. It has to have the abundance and has to have people who like to create and build new things, but you've also got to have the connection of people. Otherwise, the system is flawed. You know, like it can't work, as you can see with the Western system. Like it can't work if there's like the suicide rate is a perfect example of why the system's not working.
Yeah.
You know, the mental health issues, the anger, the violence, all these things that are happening in our society.
Yeah.
Is because there's something fundamentally wrong. Yeah, and my learning is that the thing that's wrong is that we're not living together anymore. We're not communing together, and people are feeling that it's very shallow, this existence.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's that's the problem, and you go back to old cultures where, like the Italians and their family, like they had their family structure was so strong that it supported the people.
Yeah.
So that was maybe that's the last bastion of community. Is the families are still strong in some cultures, like the Italians and probably the French. Someone was telling me that the French, you know, they're very big on having their Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
They'll have a cook up, and everyone will come over and
that's
connect.
a big one.
Yeah.
Connecting over food.
Over food.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that we do here is like create these communal meals.
Communal meals.
Bringing people together, and people get to share their skills at cooking. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
food is a big part of that.
Totally.
Building community. Yeah. So where to from this point? I think we want to just have a little talk about the building here. So at Mindful Earth, we have built this communal space, the barn. We have our toilets. We've got a couple of showers. We've got a yoga shala, the dome, and that is offering a space for people to do yoga and workshops, dance, and the design of this place is to build more and more spaces that allow that communing of together.
Specific spaces for people to do their thing.
Yes, that's right.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And in that space, so you want to have spaces that people commune, so like sacred places where you can sit and meditate, and someone maybe do a sound healing in nature as the sun's setting, and you've got a group of people sitting there connecting.
Yeah.
But you also got to create spaces that are based on allowing people to create.
Yeah. Create.
So we are creative. We have to create. Like people have to have a purpose in life.
Yeah.
And they have to find their passion. So creating a sanctuary where people are able to find that passion.
Yeah.
And we talked about that earlier. It's like at the circus festival, there were 60 different workshops that allowed people to find maybe one of those was what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So we offer all these different modalities that encourage people to create.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all people want to create. I think that's sort of, everyone wants to be able to contribute something and express themselves creatively. make something. I think that's quite unique as
for humans. Yeah, and that's I feel that's like the universe is a creative universe. It wants us to create, and you just have to look at like how diverse the planet is, like with all its different animals, and like that's all creation. You know,
it's incredible.
it's all creation. The universe is creating, but then we come along and we're like mini gods. You know, we got a few skills. We can have awareness. We can celebrate birthdays and death, and like we can mourn.
We have a level of consciousness.
Yes, that allows us to be a bit more godlike. We can step back and interpret the world. Where I think most animals are more just in the moment. Where humans can look at the past and the future and plan and dream. I don't see cows dreaming quite the same way as humans do.
Not quite the same way.
No.
Though I'm sure they still dream.
Right. Yeah. Probably a dream of grass. Fresh green grass.
Shady trees.
Shady trees. That's right. Yeah. It's simple. And but yeah, we're creators. We're mini gods. Just, you know, like I believe there's very many levels of gods. As you raise in consciousness, we become more powerful. And who knows where that ends? But yeah, we have that ability, and ultimately it means that we're here to create. And so, like, to create beautiful spaces is what humans, part of what we're here for.
I think so. I think that's sort of making the space for more creation.
Yes. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. And amazing that, you know, this building, the amount of creation that's happened since this building was formed, the amount of connection,
there's something about buildings. Brings people together, makes them feel safe. It's, shelters you, inspires you. It's a gathering space. There's something about architecture
done the right way.
Yeah.
And you see that, like, if we just had a tin shed, if I had just bought a shed and got it built and then put some windows in it, and it wouldn't have the same feel, it wouldn't have the same openness, it wouldn't allow for the full expression. And by building this building that's all secondhand materials, it's provided a different creative space.
I think it's the openness, and the material makes it feel sort of like you feel more open about what you can do here. You don't feel confined or restricted. It's more creative and free.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of touches of creativity and people's leaving behind their own little touch.
Yeah, and that's what I love, is that, like, if I had been the design, like, to fill all this in. Is that mine? Is that?
Yeah.
Let's go on here. Oh. Jules. Hello. Hey, how you going, Jules? Oh, it's 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch ag pipe, red line. Yeah. So that flow meter's 1/4. So we just want to get some that old flow meter I gave you. I just want to have those ends on there. Sweet. Nice one, man. Thank you. The beauty of community is being able to ask people to help in different tasks as well. Like these guys, it means I don't have to drive to Bustleton. The guys are already there. They're going to pick up we're getting a flow meter so we can buy water from the neighbours, and we can measure the amount of water that we use. And each month we'll pay whatever it is. It's $4. The deal is $4 per 1,000 litres. So I'm thinking we'll probably use like maybe 40,000 litres a month through the next couple of months. So it's about $200 a month
Oh yeah.
that we'll be paying. But that's happy to do that, you know. It's like great to be able to support the community next door. So happy to pay for their resources. Yeah. So, but at the moment we're a bit short on water. We don't have showers at the moment. So,
Yeah.
looking forward to getting some actual abundance of water.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, really keen to get this whole place looking green. Get the sprinklers on and
Maybe you have a veggie garden.
get the veggie garden
Or
going.
get it back going.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Greening this place.
Yes, green.
Yeah,
I love green.
Yeah, we're living in an amazing the location, like the weather system in Western Australia, like through winter we get like over a metre of rain, probably from May through to October, and then it's dry for the next 5-6 months. Like it's like this. But if you come here in winter, like it's so green, everything's green, lush. But now it's like everything's just dried off, and so you need to have water reserves through summer. But there's enough rain in winter to capture.
Yeah.
To then you'll capture enough rain for the summer, and you'll see that with a lot of the wineries. They've all got huge dams.
Yeah.
So like this is the time where they're using that water for the grapes to grow. Yeah, so we got plans for 2 dams on the property.
Yeah, it'd be good to have those.
Yeah, it's just it's probably 40-50 grand to get the heavy machinery in and to landscape all the land, the dams, and also you got to have you landscape the roads with ditches.
Yeah.
And all that, any water that comes off the road goes into the ditch, and that ditch runs into your dams. So it's a really good way to capture water. But you need to have the infrastructure, like the machinery to get it all set up. Yeah. That's a fascinating part of like a farm design, is the water systems, the catchment systems.
Yeah. Being off grid.
Off grid, yeah.
Disconnected from.
Oh, what do we got here?
Hello.
These
Got
little
some rats.
babies.
My babies.
Can I have a hold? Hello.
Yeah,
Here we
that's
go.
my
Look.
big one.
Pet rat.
They're like, no.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think
amazing.
he
You're
doesn't want to be on
famous.
camera.
Famous rat.
He's a famous rat.
What about
So these are
Shaq?
domesticated rats.
Yes.
Yeah. So have they got a particular type of rat?
Oh, someone's calling you.
Oh, that was Jules. That's all right.
Yeah, they do have a type name. I can't think
Put
of what
him
it
on
is.
camera.
Yeah. What's this guy's name?
That's Stripe.
Stripe. Hey, Stripe.
Stripe is a crazy
I'm quite
boy.
impressed. Look at the big balls they've got.
He's a big boy, isn't he?
He's a big boy.
This boy's even bigger.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's the king. Hey,
Stripe is the...
they're very tame.
Yeah, they are. Boys are more
Stripe
They're
tame
not
than
really
the
afraid
girls.
of
Skinny.
humans, are they?
I've had them since they were
Pet rat.
newborns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Black butt.
Hey man.
Come here, black
Yeah,
butt.
one of my girls gave birth to
Oh really?
14 rats.
14.
Yeah, she had 14 babies.
Whoa. Accidentally? Or you?
Oh yeah, it wasn't planned.
14. And then what
Yeah.
did you do with them all?
Oh, I gave them away.
Wow.
It's good. And then I ended up keeping
Where did
these
you
3
get
boys.
them
Yeah.
to?
Friends.
Wow. How long did they live for?
They say about 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
They can live longer.
Put
Yeah.
Stripe in here.
My daughter Mia, she had a guinea pig. She loved.
I want a guinea pig.
I had guinea pigs.
Pretty cool guinea pigs. Yeah. It was a long-haired one.
Oh, cute.
Really funny looking things.
Guinea pigs are funny.
Yeah.
Where do they come from?
I think they're South American.
Oh,
Yeah.
How old is Black Butt?
Black.
6 months.
Oh, and it's big.
He's big. he had a brother called Blackhead.
Oh yeah.
So they looked similar with their black heads.
Mm.
But Blackbutt he's got a little patch on his butt, so that's why I called him Blackbutt, to differentiate between them.
Yeah.
Stripe, what are you doing?
And Stripe's full name is Moo Moo with the stripe, so he looks a bit like a moo moo,
Okay.
but he's got a stripe on his head.
I love how they look at them moving their whiskers.
Yeah, sniffing around.
Yeah.
They like to explore.
I bet.
Don't you dare poke on this.
Sniffing everything.
Does he want to type?
That's who? Probably on the keyboard.
I think he might want to. It's like, yeah.
Hey, you sniff. Looking for food?
I think so. Blackbutt. You like the log, don't you? Can we bring the log here for a bit? Because I think he likes more of that one. Yeah, I think he
This
will.
log with the weird energy
Yeah.
it grew in.
I think Blackbutt likes it.
Blackbutt.
Yep.
Like that name.
See?
Hey Amy. How are you? Good morning. We're doing a podcast. So,
Oh, right now?
yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, the rats wants the money.
The rats.
How did he get up there?
They're pretty clever.
Ninja.
Well, they're ninjas.
Yeah.
This is Blackbutt.
I don't know how clever they are. They must be clever.
You can teach them tricks.
Really?
They can do things like fetch stuff for you
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and do
Wow.
obstacle courses.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Train them to.
You could put them in the circus.
Right.
They
You do
do.
a show.
Yeah. Maybe next year there'll be a rat show.
Yeah.
at
Maybe
the
you're gonna
circus.
do it.
Yeah.
Right.
You can flow with them. They'll run up and down your arms.
Mm.
So you can just be like
Ah, yeah.
flowing.
Yeah, and you just have little
dancing.
food, like little bits of food,
Yeah.
to get them to run along, or
Yeah.
little
They'll
treats.
just do it for fun. They like to run
Oh yeah,
around.
yeah.
But yeah.
That could be fun. Nice. Yeah. So going back to what we want to do. So what we're looking at, like Janet is an architect, and oh, hang on, just checking my phone. And we want to continue. We want to build beautiful spaces for people to commune together and connect and create together and celebrate. So that's the 3 C's that we have on the way in. Is that what is it?
Commune, create, and celebrate.
Celebrate's the first one, and then create and connect.
Oh, connect.
Yeah, the 3 C's. To me, that's the 3 most important things.
Yes.
Create, connect, and celebrate. So that's what we want to build spaces for, to do that. And then obviously functionality as well. Like we want the community to function as efficiently as possible too. So we need to build spaces. You probably got to have a space for admin, for people who are doing the books or working on computers.
Mhm.
Here's a funny thing. Yeah, so you basically got to have a fully functioning village. So like you need, eventually we'll have spaces for all
Yeah.
the different,
Self-sustainable,
yeah,
functional village.
yep. And the way I've often, like I've been wondering how you build a community or a tribe that functions to the most effective way. And I keep talking about it now, but the idea that we all can't live together has always been the difficult question. So how do you include everybody but have harmony? because you get all different types of people, and they all live in the same spot. There'll be a war eventually. There'll be what's the word? There'll be a mutiny. Someone will not like somebody, and then they start to form groups, and next thing you know, there's like 2 teams that are, it's a story of the past. It's how the history happened. So you've got to create a system that allows people to live within their vibration of people, and you've got to still have those people involved in the complete tribe. And that's where it comes back to this idea of 12 clans that were utilised in the past tribal systems, because those 12 clans become specialised in certain aspects. The farmers, the entertainers, the warriors, probably the priests, the rulers, the people in charge, the what else? For us, like a modern tribe, you'd have holistic, like plant medicines. You'd have all new modern technologies of ways we heal. You have the like herb, someone dedicated to growing herbs. Like you're connecting with the old and the new, and you're creating these 12 clans that are each specialised in different aspects, that when they all come together, they create a fully sustainable tribe. And that's what we should all be seeking, that harmony. So how do we find the harmony? Okay, we can't all live together, so let's split us off into little groups that specialise. But then we have central spaces where people come from those clans, and we have an event where we have a little ceremony, or we have a gathering once a week or every couple of days, and then every month we have a big party. Like these type of activities that bring people together, to celebrate. So you've got you have the clan that's the musicians, the entertainers, and all the farmers can come and join us for a night, come to the entertainment clan, but then they can leave, and that's the important thing. We went to the Circle of Trees festival. I've been twice now, and two times in a row, and it's interesting because Mindful Earth, the type of people that we've got,
I gave him some banana, a little nibble.
the type of people that
banana.
we're on a podcast. You want to say anything? No? Or you've just gone quiet? Why are you quiet?
C-SPAN! Perfect! But
Yeah,
we're
so
gonna play
we
we're gonna do
separate
horse riding
the groups of
lesson
people, so that this
when Mike and together.
Circle of Trees festival, it was based around permaculture, so farmers, and they still know how to have parties. They still enjoy life, but they don't party in the same way as, say, the 20-something-year-old travellers.
Go around.
Like there's different
wanna
energy,
be in
different vibe. But when you come together, we had some guys from Mindful Earth, a whole heap from on the dance floor, just raising the vibration. Like everyone was just having a mad time.
Hey, Straw.
But it was full on for, I could see, full on
Do you
for a
wanna
lot
show
of the
Z?
people that have been living on a farm
Z
and
came back.
hardly even interact with
I know.
anyone on a daily basis.
Do you wanna go and tell her?
It's like, wow,
Let's see a
too
stripe
much.
like some banana.
So there was this
I wanna
difference
do
in
it for my
vibration
story.
between the people. You try and get all those people to live together.
What are you
I
doing?
don't see it being harmonious, but
A stripe.
if we're all separate and then we come together,
Mm.
that's how this harmony works. And this is how I feel. You have these open borders, open freedom between, so everyone can move between the clans. Everyone can go and live at a different clan if they like, and suddenly you can explore life. You can explore what you're interested in. So yeah, that's what we're going to build here at Mindful Earth. We're going to have a central space in the middle of the property, which myself and Janet are looking at now, is how we do that. But then this barn will become the entertainers clan, and people who participate here will live around the clan, and then it's managed by the people in this clan. They manage this space. And then another group, the farmers clan, there'll be a bit of a structure and they manage that clan. But ultimately we're all one. Yeah. So that's what we're going to try, because the only way to learn, because we've lost all this knowledge, it's like, let's just do it and
for sure.
see if it works.
You just got to learn by doing. Figure it out as we go along.
Yeah, that's right. So looking at those past tribal systems, we can get a big head start on how it should be done, because these guys have been for thousands of years like practicing how to create the best tribe, to create the most harmonious system. And I believe the reason that is it's natural selection. When you have, like if you look at the Europe, at one point there was tribes everywhere, and one tribe would be would take over another tribe if they were allowed, which means that natural selection, the most efficient, most organized, most harmonious tribe, to me would be the one that would survive over a tribe that's not as harmonious.
And tribes could break apart from the inside as well.
Yeah, that's right, naturally, because if it's not functioning correctly, you're going to get that splitting. You're going to get that mutinies, and so it's in the best interest of the tribe to find harmony. And by doing that, you're raising consciousness. Like the tribes, the people in the tribes, the really functioning well ones, they're spiritual tribes. They're all about raising people's consciousness. So then you live in more harmony. Like if you're overflowing with love, you've healed yourself and you're just exploding with love. You've got so much more to share with people, and it rubs off. And then they raise up, and you're setting, like, leading by example. So it's like there's this, I believe there's, the tribes had to have been very harmonious, and it was in their best interest to design systems for that. And we can look back in time and see where that occurred, and we can take from that. And that's where this 12 clan system came from. So that's a start. Let's try that. And then we start the social systems. Like I put a sign up that says good words, good thoughts, good words, good deeds. Now that's from Zoroastrianism. Like it's a 4,500 year old religion that predated Christianity and Judaism. And the description of the religion is all about bringing harmony to societies, tribes, societies. And you can imagine, like, just that catchphrase, good thoughts, good words, good deeds. If everyone ascribed to that in a community, there would be way more harmony. Right? I've noticed it's human nature is that we tend to find fault in people, and then we like to talk about it and gossip, and like you can't have that in communities. It has to be like everyone with the same aim, which is to make the tribe strong and beautiful. And you need to have that harmony between each of us. So you can't be gossiping in negative ways. You can't do that. You want to be doing good deeds. You want to be using good words because it filters through the whole space. Like we've seen that here, having one or two bad eggs that don't like me or don't like the place, and it just filters through everywhere. And it's like, okay, well, they either can change, and that's what I was doing, was talking to those people and saying, hey, if you don't really want to be here, or if you don't believe in the vision that I have, then you need to be you either need to get on board or you need to leave and go and find your own tribe or start your own. Like, this is the base, this is the rule, this is how we want this one to be, but there's plenty of room for many other communities and tribes.
Yeah.
And that's where finding, like, getting that general vibration of love and kindness is the essential part. And that's where I think these religions like the Zoroastrianism, I'm pretty sure a lot of the systems or the rules, you could say, or the guidelines are all based around creating that harmony. So, and that's a religion that's almost been wiped out. The Iranians held on to it for a long time. The Persians used it. Zoroaster was a prophet. So yeah, there's systems that were designed in the past. Because I said the other night, like, have you heard of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon?
Vaguely.
Like, it was like a seventh wonder of the world. I'm gonna just type seventh. Was it Hanging Gardens? Hanging Gardens. It was meant to be one of the most beautiful things. Hanging Gardens of Babylon. So, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world.
Yeah.
It was
I've heard
described
about
as
this.
a remarkable feat of engineering with an ascending series of tiered gardens containing a wide variety of trees, shrubs and vines, resembling a large green mountain constructed of mud bricks. It was said to have been built in the city of Babylon. The Hanging Gardens, according to one legend, the Hanging Gardens were built alongside a grand palace known as the Marvel of Mankind. I like that. Built by Nebuchadnezzar, so he was a Neo-Babylonian king. 605 to 562 BC, for his wife, his Median wife, Queen Amytsis. Median, what's that mean? Oh, the Medes, Iranian people who spoke Median language. So, to me, like, for a society to build such beautiful structures, there has to be this harmony. There has to be this love with all the people involved. Because if you don't, to get to this point, you can't have fighting wars all the time. There's no money to build this.
Yeah.
So I feel like we have been told a version of history that is not necessarily, like, we're sort of told the past was not so much harmonious. It was all just battles, war. But there was no love, there was no connection, there was, like, no beautiful creations.
People were savages.
Savages, yeah. And I don't believe that, because you got places like, this is like, when was it? 4,000. So 600 BC. So that's, what's that? 2,500 years ago. You know, so there's many examples that we can, like, look, what was the Babylonian system? How did they have their structure? Did they rule with a heavy hand, or did they allow their people to did they trust their people? And I feel that we can look back in the past and see where civilizations trusted the people and allowed freedom, and they existed. And the problem is when you get a leader who wants power, the people rebel, and so then you've got to start putting rules in place to stop them from leaving. It was sort of my idea that it's like, if you've got three tribes, one's like a fairy what do you call it? Fairy castle, fairy kingdom, where everyone's living in harmony. There's abundance. Everyone loves. There's so much love and beautiful spaces. Everything functions correctly. And then there's a tribe 100 kilometers away that is ruled by a despot who just makes rules, and you know, the way that they control the people is through fear. And you put people in jail when they do something wrong, and you kill people, and you kill someone and put their head on put them on a cross. You know, like, as an example. Like, ultimately, if there's freedom, people would move to the fairy kingdom.
Yeah.
They just naturally would.
Mm.
But if you've got a border in place, which is the way the world is now,
Yeah.
you know, like you can't move, so you're stuck there,
Yeah.
and that allows that despot to continue.
It's so strange, all these invisible, made-up borders that
Right.
we have.
Yeah. I have a feeling like the future will be no borders. I really feel that, and
Yeah.
there's free travel to move between.
It's how it should be.
Yeah, I really feel that. And that allows then for people to move away from areas where people are being bad. They're ruling with an iron fist rather than ruling with love. So we can do this, we can create that tribe based on that system rather than the other system. I feel like
Yeah.
there's two systems.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the Western world now is becoming more that heavy-handed. You know, like what happened with COVID. You know, the idea that they had to be locked down. There was rules, so many rules. And our system today is so many rules.
Yeah.
We don't give trust to the people to make the right decision.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't take my dog down to the beach because it's a national park. But to me, giving people the freedom to not abuse the privilege, to trust that they're going to make the right decision. They're not going to allow their dogs to chase kangaroos. They're not going to, they just keep. Then with that trust, you get people stepping up and
Yeah.
like holding good etiquette and good
Yeah.
deeds, good thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really interesting. It's a paradox, and we don't have a lot of examples of those civilizations anymore. Maybe in Tibet, the Tibets were more aligned to loving their people. I know Bhutan, they have a happiness index. That's how, like the government has, like, you know, the Australian government has an index on its financial
Yeah, productivity.
and its budget and all these things,
Yeah.
but they have a happiness index. So why wouldn't every country have that?
Yeah.
And I think like the West has gone too far now that they don't want to have a happiness index because there's so much unhappiness. They don't want to shine any light on it
Yeah.
of how messed up
Yeah.
our system is.
The focus is on productivity,
Right.
making money.
Right, greed. Yep. Getting
Progress.
people who holding on to power. And so yeah, so that's been a realization just the last few weeks for me, is seeing these different societies. And so how did the Babylonians manage to build these beautiful spaces? Now we're told that they probably had a heap of slaves and they just whipped them in to build them. But I don't believe it. I think, there were cultures like that used a heavy hand to force people to do stuff. But could you imagine if the Egyptians built those pyramids with willing workers? That they had a system, a culture that was so giving that the people just stood up and said, I want to build that.
They believed in what they were doing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we have to create here. It's like you give people a dream and a vision of we're creating this amazing civilization.
Yeah. Let them find their outlet.
Yeah.
What they want to spend their time doing.
That's
the
right.
skills they want to develop.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And suddenly things just work.
Yeah.
So then, how do we create that? And it's the structure, because we've also got to learn how to heal the old people from the old system. We've got to teach people to trust again.
To trust, to feel safe, to express
feel safe,
themselves,
yep,
to be around other people.
To not judge others. You know, like to see each other for who they are. Understand everyone's going through their own stuff, and
there's a lot of judgment.
a lot of judgment. Yeah, judgment. Yeah, I hate judgment, but I do it. I still catch myself judging.
Yeah. we all judge to some level.
Yeah.
Yeah. To an unnatural level where you're not even seeing the person. That's when it's not good.
Janet, can you try and feed him?
Well, they say we usually judge within the first 10
We'll keep
seconds.
it.
We've already, before someone
Maybe?
even opens their mouth.
Yeah, I think it's the conditioning. But it's
We'll have it.
probably a natural thing that we do as humans as well. But we've been conditioned to really take it to an
On a
extreme.
negative.
Yeah.
I did a course in Bali about finding your full power, and this guy Rick, his catchphrase was, or mantra was, assume the best. Like, always assume the best in humans, because it's if someone doesn't turn up to a yoga or a meeting that you arranged, our minds tend to go towards they're just lazy or not organised, but maybe there was a reason, unintentional. So if we just assume that people are doing their best, that's a great part of this communal.
There's also the other side of being the person who didn't show up. You feel this guilt.
Right.
You feel bad because you didn't do what you were supposed to do.
Exactly. That happened to me yesterday.
Yeah.
With the massage. It's interesting because I felt guilty I didn't turn up, and I didn't even say I wasn't going to go. But what I want to teach, it's good to commit to things, but it's also good to feel how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Like I ended up having a 3-hour sleep. That was more important than doing the massage. So I put priority on me to do that.
And if you're in a space where everyone understands that you need to honour yourself and people need to listen to themselves and go take what they need instead of making people feel bad because of this or that.
Yeah, that's right. So assuming the best. People are making their right decision.
Yeah.
And if it means not attending something or be open to hearing what the reasons why they didn't make it and not judging.
Yeah. I think in that sort of environment people will feel feel more comfortable as well to do what they need.
Yes.
Instead of putting others before themselves when they really need to take care of themselves.
Yeah, that's a big part of that's part of our society, is like put others first.
Yeah. At the expense of yourself.
At the expense, yeah.
It's good to put others first, but also you need to take care of yourself.
Agree.
Or you just burn out, get exhausted.
Yep. And my whole life I've lived this way where I've lived my whole life where I've always put myself first. With the intention that when I reach this point of overflowing with love, that's like the spiritual path of reaching that point, finding, healing myself, and then I can give back. Right, so it's selfish for a time, but when you reach that point of overflowing, then you're able to really heal and change things. And like if I hadn't have slept 3 hours yesterday, I wouldn't have been able to offer as much as I was able to last night. Yeah, so it's super important.
Yeah, it is.
To look after number one, and that's what you need to have in a society.
Yeah.
It's like look after yourself, but obviously also be part of the whole tribe. Yeah, interesting, because I see that in Bali. The Balinese, there's ceremonies on every week, and they're obligated to come and they have to participate in building the floats and all the different things for the ceremonies, which creates beautiful culture, or harmonious village life. But the problem is they don't they go for it wears them out. These commitments don't allow them time for themselves, and so you've got to create this system where both is allowed, both is encouraged. But if you're not up for it, and I think that's where it's interesting. I've also taken it to that next step. Is like when people work, you know, the system we've got now,
Kind of want to show.
people don't actually work. They only work because of the money.
Yeah,
Like they're doing jobs that they don't really want to do.
yeah,
Like adding money to this type of has skewed away from people being with their passion.
yeah. Yeah, there's so much value put onto money.
Mm.
And we don't even think about why that is. But money is just money. It's, you know, yeah, we actually give the value to the money instead of what it can get, what we can get from it as a tool.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so we end up selling ourselves
Yeah,
for the money.
it's very powerful. It's, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
it can, yeah, with fear and can control you.
The fear of, and this is the thing, we want to create a system that people are happy to just, they believe in it. There's no money exchanged, but they believe in it. But abundance comes naturally from
Yeah.
it, and there is money.
Yeah,
Like that's a really important, I think that's one of the things we aim for.
yeah,
Not have to pay people,
yeah. I
but
think,
people are paid in other ways. Like they're paid in the community, the love of
Yeah.
the community,
yeah.
working with others.
And people can help each other. Like we have so much to give to each other, and we have so much. The earth has so much to give as well.
Yes.
That's where
Yeah, yeah,
it all comes from.
yeah. So we shouldn't. Ideally, like the future system is not to be working for money. We work for our love,
Yeah,
for our passion,
yeah,
and naturally that abundance comes from that.
yeah,
Like if you're, we see that a lot here. Is a lot of the travellers, they're all doing jobs that they don't really want to do, picking grapes, but they're also creative, and it's trying to encourage them to follow that creative path.
yeah,
And that's coming back to why we need to build these spaces to give people that opportunity.
yeah. The opportunities. Yeah, that's it.
Because living in community, we don't need as much money
Yeah,
to survive.
we can support each other.
Yeah, we support food, we support accommodation, share resources,
Yeah,
and then people don't need to go out into the outside world as
Yeah.
much and have as much. So then they can be here and create
Yeah.
what they really want to do.
yeah. And we find so much more fulfillment by being together, interacting together, or doing what it is that we're passionate about.
Yeah.
There's less having to need money to go buy this or buy these things that we think might fulfill us.
Yeah.
There's less of that.
Yeah.
I don't even think about that, you know.
Yeah.
And every day is interesting, and something is always happening. Yeah, it's don't know how to describe it, but it just feels like you're living life fully.
Yeah, and we need to change people's mindsets away from, like, we can still work hard, we can still do long days doing your passion,
Yeah,
right? We can, because when people find their passion, that's what happens, is you just want to do it. Like
Yeah.
my passion, I'm looking into history now, so I'd spend 24 hours a day if I could doing it,
Yeah.
you know? So, and I don't need to be paid, where if my old job where I didn't want to go and sit on an oil rig and be away from my family for 4 weeks, you know? So, yeah, it's like we almost need to take away the idea of seeking money for our work.
yeah,
It's like we actually want to seek our passion, and that passion will then drive abundance. Money will come
yeah,
when we're following our passion, and so it's it's two different worlds.
Yeah.
We want to create this world, this
Yeah.
this living
Bo.
your life.
Is Cookie up at your house?
Yeah.
Someone's calling you.
No, they called earlier. Yeah, he was up. He's up at the house.
Yeah, I think we're creating that sort of supportive environment so people feel like they don't have to go out, make money, just so they can have some food.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what we're doing.
It's all wrong. It's,
And-
it's
Do you want to head off too?
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
We're going to go to Witchcliff and
Oh.
explore.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Go to the
And,
cafe
Chapman
there.
Falls,
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
and have a kayak.
Oh, nice. Even more beautiful.
Never done that before.
Yeah, Chapman Falls
Yeah.
is perfect. It's so
Yeah.
nice there. Yeah, we've got SUPs as well that you could take a stand-up paddleboard.
Oh, okay.
Got the
Cool.
inflatable ones.
Yep,
So
yep.
we should
Yeah.
organise a activity afternoon
Yeah.
where we all go to Chapman Falls
Yeah,
and go
a
for a
little
s-
swim. There's so many places around here
So
to go for a
many-
dip.
so many places.
Like the river at Alexandra Bridge.
Yeah. So we just need to create these events